Hey everybody, it's Brad from Board Game Geek here. We're taking a first look at World of Yoho, a new hybrid board game coming from ELO. This game is a mix of digital and physical products, and we're going to take a look at it today. So before we do that, we'll just go quick rundown of the components. Of course, the most important component is right here, your cell phone. You will need a smartphone to play this game, at least one. It's ideal if you have one for each player. So this is your first component. You've got a rule book. The rule book provides some basic instructions. You also have a tutorial in the app, which is really great. It makes the first game kind of slow, but if you're playing with new players and you've played before, they can leave the tutorials on and they can learn kind of step by step as they encounter things, rather than having to info dump on them at the first. So neat idea for that for sure. And then you've got the biggest component in this box, which is pretty big for what's actually in it, but you have these board pieces. There's two pieces. Very big board, giant, comes in two pieces. You'll need a big table for this one. It's because the spaces each need to be the size of a smartphone, so it gets pretty large. Again, second piece of that board. The next component that you need, if you're going to be playing with a cell phone for each player, which is the ideal way to play, they have these little suction cupped characters that allow you to mark on your phone who you are and what kind of ship you have. You won't probably always need these as you begin to learn the game, and there's just not that much different between them that you really need to keep track constantly, but it allows you a quick reference if that's what you like. Makes your phone more of a playing piece than just what's on the screen if the players can't see the screen all the time. So if you're not going to be using these, and if you're not going to have each player have a phone, the game does provide some components to help with that. You've got these cards for each player. There's ships and captains. These allow the players to know their stats without having an app or anything to refer to. I also found this useful even when we each had a phone, just because it allowed you to just quick reference if you're really into the stats, which can be important in some cases. Apart from that, if you're playing with just one phone, they provide these ship markers, which you will place on the board, which represent the different players where they're positioned relative to the other player, so you can pass the phone around to do the other components of the game. So that's what you get in the box of World of Yoho, this hybrid game. So let's take a look at some of the gameplay. So the main gameplay in World of Yoho involves moving your phone, which becomes your playing piece. As you see, as you move it, it shows you little animations around the island. To set up a game, you'll choose from a certain point level and the standard or narrative mode, and then you can also turn on tutorials for new players. You'll pick a captain, which all have certain advantages and disadvantages, as well as a ship to use. The ships also feature advantages and disadvantages and have special abilities that can be activated. Apart from that, you'll also pick some starting quests. This is a lot like Ticket to Ride, where you'll be completing these. They require traveling to different areas or completing different actions. So you can really choose what you want to do here. You don't have to take all of them, but you can have up to 3. After that, you choose items to buy for your ship. This is one of the more tricky parts of the game, is you need to buy the items you'll use in combat. On your turn, there are many things you can do. One of the things you can do are visit one of the various ports. These ports allow you to see what the standings are, they allow you to see new missions to take, as well as buy new items or repair your ship. So you'll definitely want to be stopping there, and also sometimes it's required to complete a mission to visit a port. Because you are working with an app, the app will sometimes show you cool stuff on the space that you didn't see when you were just looking at the board. Like in this case, I found a sunken treasure. I get to open these chests and find a prize for me to keep. In this case, a captain's hat that I can use that gives me some bonuses. When your phone is adjacent to an opponent's phone, you can engage in combat. Combat is a sort of hidden moves game where you're each playing different types of combat. You can also play grappling hooks that will get you into close combat, which require different items. This is why you need to continually be stocked with different cannonballs and other items. As you go, you'll get bonuses for hitting the other player, and the player who deals the most damage wins the combat and does damage. Both players take damage, but they can actually take some items from the other player if they win. So that's World of Yoho. I've just played a little bit. I'm excited to explore it more. The game really uses an app and physical component integration really well. The app is really interesting. It's really fun. It helps teach you. It also provides a lot of color to the game. It makes the board come alive. The game is light. If you're looking for something a little heavier, this is not for you. Alchemist maybe would be for you. That's a pretty heavy game as compared to this one, and does integration really well also. But it's a fun game. It's got a lot of personality. It's great to show people, especially maybe not heavy gamers, to show them a cool integration of their phone with a board game, which can kind of bring people in. I'm excited to show some of my more techie friends this. But definitely worth checking out. The components are really fun. These little sticky guys are really cool. They're fun to decorate your phone with, and the board. I know my daughter was moving them around the other day. But definitely a great implementation, a great kind of first shot of really strong integration between apps and board games. So definitely worth taking a look at World of Yoho if you're looking for some light fun.